Welcome to Hiram Hikes. I'm Hiram. This could be my day 7 video. It didn't cover any miles, so I probably shouldn't do them, but I'm going to anyway. A couple things I wanted to say, kind of put a different spin a little bit on the hike. Uh, I'm actually, a couple days later, I'm in the hostel around the bend in Hiwassee, but I haven't done any of the ones since I left my zero at Neelix Gap, so I wanted to put this one in, and then I'll try to catch up on the other two as well. First thing, your home in the oh geez, sorry, your home in the woods B&B that I stayed at, absolutely fabulous, wonderful people. It's not a hostel, nothing like one. It's an absolutely beautiful house, older couple, very, very, very nice. I mean, you come in the door and, well, have you got any food restrictions or anything you can't eat? And they had hiker clothes. My laundry was done in 2 hours after I got there. Uh, if there were a crowd, it probably would have taken longer, obviously, but I was the only one there that night. Had baked fish for supper with a salad and veggies and a cake. There was always coffee in the pump urn in the dining room, and it was good coffee. The next morning, they had a little baked casserole with baked eggs and cheese, and mine had bacon on it. And it's a very family style. They set the meal out and set everything out, and then Bonnie says grace, and you eat together. Very, very nice. They had homemade blueberry muffins. I'm trying to remember what else. It was really good. I stayed there during the whole day working on YouTube and Instagram. With absolutely no expectation. Paul started laying out lunch. They fed me at noontime. They had sandwiches and wraps and whatnot. Again, totally unexpected. Very, very nice. Supper was baked chicken and vegetables and we did homemade chocolate cookies. And then the morning that I left, they had the first breakfast they had pecan waffles. That was pretty good. Second breakfast, they had blueberry pancakes, and they had creamy eggs. And she brought out a little plate with 3 sausage patties on it and says, "Oh, those are for you, not us. We're not eating that." But she made it so that I would have it. And then they had, just if this doesn't get you, they had chocolate chip and cranberry scones. You can't beat it. So the only bad news, they're going to stop doing the bed and breakfast at the end of May. So if you're coming through earlier than that, wonderful place to stay. Couldn't recommend it more highly. One of the things they do is they have a little book where they ask you to make some notes, and he gives you some questions to kind of spur your thought, and that's what inspired me to do this. It's like, why are you hiking, or what have you learned? I don't even remember what they were, but they made me stop and think a little bit. And they have you write in their book, and then they take a picture of you when they drop you off, and that goes in the book with you. I mentioned one of the people I knew who had stayed there, Jay from Jay Wanders Out, had stayed there. And it took Paul 10 seconds to open up the book that Jay's picture was in and show me his note, the note that Jay made and whatnot. And they're that kind of people. But it made me think about the whole the people part of this. Like I talked about when I went up to Preacher's Rock, I met a couple of guys coming down, and we said hi a little bit more, and then I continued on. They were headed southbound. And a few minutes later, one of them comes up behind me, and he's headed back. He lost his gloves, and they're either on the trail or more likely I left them on the top. You know how that goes. And he slowed his pace, and we walked up together and had a nice chat. He was interested in the origin of Hiram hikes, the biblical base of the. If it kind of I think he was wondering if I knew it of my, which of course I did, of my. My trail name, and we chatted. And his father was a preacher, his grandfather was a preacher, he's the preacher at the local church, and whatever. It was very nice. We had a nice chat, and we parted ways. And I believe he has since become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. When I was going up Blood Rock, I'm going along, and a couple of guys who I didn't remember ever seeing. They may have been up there on Preacher Rock that day, but I didn't remember them. Said, "Are you Hiram?" Are you Hiram Hikes? And I'm like, yeah. And turned out they were also preachers. They were waiting for another gentleman to come along who was the gentleman who had been walking with the guy that I had climbed up Preacher Rock with. And ended up there were 4 Baptist ministers and a couple of deacons all going up to Blood Mountain. They were they were faster than me because they were day hiking and I'm slow and carrying a big pack. But they, we chatted some on the way up, and then I saw them at the top, and we chatted some, and we chatted on the way down. They pointed out some of the views. I mean, I was standing with them when they said, "Oh, you can see Atlanta on the horizon," and it was really nice to have someone local, and they were so friendly. And of course, before we parted at the bottom, they went a different trail to a day hiker parking lot while I was going into Neal's Gap. They all gathered around and said a word of blessing and wished me the best. So couldn't be nicer. So the people are as much a part of this as anything else. I talked about Doug earlier, how supportive he was, the thru hiker. I saw him again. He was southbound as I came out of Woody Gap. He'd met up with his friend and solved his sleeping bag issue, and he was continuing on his 10-day. Again, very supportive, very friendly, encouraging. The people here at Around the Bend, very nice. The people are as much a part of this as the mountains. So I'd encourage you to appreciate that. I think that's going to be it for this is my 0-day update. The big part is the couple, Paul and Bonnie at Your Home in the Woods, B&B, are 2 of the nicest people I've ever met. They truly made me feel like family, and I cannot possibly think of a nicer thing to say. I hope you're having a great day.